Yo, what's up? This is John from Judge Innovation Garage in the Peach Capital and Estate, baby. Oh, that's not good. Yo, what's up? This is John from Judge Innovation Garage in the Peach Capital Estate, baby. What's up, boys and girls? Ladies and gentlemen. I think we might have a problem. Maybe. I don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear. All right. What's up? If you've seen my community post, if you've seen the 67 Pontiac Tempest Custom is on the property. What type of engine you using for the car? What car? What car? What car? So, we got up 28 people. So, got the 67 Pontiac. This one or that one? This is an 86 Silverado pickup truck. That over there is a 68 C10. So, in the community post, and I posted a reel. I don't know why it took for so long, but it posted. I have the 1967 Pontiac Le Mans Custom. It's here on the property. Super nice car. Good driver. It'll make somebody a very, very nice driver. Nice driver. It's got a 383 stroker in it, 4-speed Muncie transmission. I don't know if it has the 10 bolt or the 12 bolt. I'll have to look and see. Starts up super great. MSD distributor, MSD box. Paint's fair. I don't know if it's the original paint. I have to look at the date code to see what the car came out. The car was purchased at a classic auto sale place that deal in classic antique cars. I'm not going to say what the price was give on the car. I have the car here. I have to clean it up, get it detailed. Appraisers are coming in the next few days to appraise the vehicle, to give it an appraisal, and the estate that owns the car is going to decide if they can agree on the terms of the appraisal. They're going to try to either buy each other out. If they can't agree on that, then they're going to sell the car. So more than likely, they're probably going to sell the car, because you got one of the parties is not very workable. Does that make sense? It's not very workable, or very understanding. So since the car is on to the estate of the person that is passed, they have to follow the guidelines and get it appraised. And then whatever the appraisal is, then that's where, let's just say the car appraised for $30,000. Then that means, so let me explain something to some people that don't really understand or are not familiar with. Don't let me say understand, because that's kind of a belittling word. But if you don't understand how it works or unaware, so let's say that you're a part of an estate and you're in the line of getting something. So let's just use me for an example so I can talk in third person. Let's say that this 1967 Pontiac Le Mans Custom, let's say that it was my father's. And my father wanted me to have it, but he never gave it to me while he was living. So now he has passed. This is just an example. And he has passed. And no matter what the will says, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, the will is the will. That's law. So whoever the power of attorney is, or the trustee of it, they're the one that has the final say. So if in the will, it doesn't say where the vehicle's going or the land's going or the property or anything. If it doesn't say so-and-so gets this, so-and-so gets that, so-and-so gets that, so-and-so gets that, if it doesn't itemize that in a will, and it just says, I appoint such and such the power of attorney to execute my estate as they see fit. So what that means is whoever the power of attorney or the executive estate, they get to decide whatever they want to do. So in this case, with this 67 Pontiac Tempest Custom, one of the children said that Daddy said I could have the car. The will says otherwise, right? The will says otherwise. So the way this works is, now since it's after the family member is passed, right? And then we're going to get to what we hear, belts. So everybody out there, so you have to take care of your stuff, right? So with that being said, now it has to go to the estate. Well, now if then what do you do when the will says it's divided up between 5 people and one person is the executor of the estate, selling all the property and the belongings and everything, and skips to town? Well, so let me read this right. 5 people on the will is supposed to get everything divvied up between them, right? And one person of those 5 people is being the executor of the estate. The other 4 people, it's their job to protest that. It's their job to go get lawyers and say, hey, look, the executor is not honoring the will and not following out the wishes of the will, and you want to sue the estate and the will, and that freezes everything. Freezes it all. They can't do anything. Here's something else. if that one person is the executor of the estate, they can sue themselves, even though they're executive, and it locks the will down until it gets drug out in court, and that could take up to 10 years. So if the other 4 people that are on the will that's supposed to get X, Y, and Z, well, the other people that got ripped off, it's their fault. They should have went and got a lawyer, and they should have contested the will. They should have sued the estate and the will, and that would have froze everything. That's how that works. So if the other 4 people just run around and was talking out their lips and they didn't do anything, I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm just going on what you said. See, I don't know how the land can be sold if it's in probate. Because if it's in probate, it can't be sold, because when it's sold, there's a deed. They do a title search and a deed search. It comes up and it says this land or this property is in an estate, and that estate is in probate. Therefore, it cannot be sold legally. I can write on a piece of paper all day long and say, hey, I'm gonna sell you this shop. Here you go, Kenny, the shop's yours, and leave. And you say, hey, this is my shop. And then the man that owns the shop comes in and says, what are you doing? Well, I bought this. That doesn't mean nothing. That ain't worth the paper it's written on. That right there is trash. It's fraud. You can't do it. There's people all over the place that sell property, abandoned property. I'll give you this when we get back to the wheel. There's a piece of property that's not too far from me. It's been abandoned for years. And all of a sudden, started getting cleaned up. And I was like, oh, okay, great, this plane's getting cleaned up. These people came in, seen the property, looked. People came in, seen the property, done this, found out the person that owned the property had passed, but the person who actually owned the property lived in another state. So what they did was they put the property up for sale, right? They put the property up for sale. People come to buy the property, and they said, we do self-financing. They said, oh, great, because we can't go to the bank. So the person that was acting selling the property said, I'll sell you this 10 acres of land, and I want $150,000 for it. Well, I can't go to the bank. Okay, I tell you what I do. You give me $50,000 deposit, and I'll finance it to you in-house, charge you interest, we do all the paperwork. Okay, great, not a problem. They do all the paperwork. They get everything notarized and signed or whatever, blah, 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 do all that. And I sell you, that person sold them people that person's property, right? $50,000 deposit, and then they pay in each month on that. The people move in and clean up the whole property and start cleaning up. Well, the neighbors in the area, it's like, hey, they're cleaning up. So one of the neighbors reaches out to the family member that lives in another state and says, hey, look, I am so glad you're cleaning up this property. And they go, what do you mean cleaning up this property? He said, they're cleaning up. They burnt the old house down. They're cleaning up. They're doing this. They're doing that. And he's like, what are you talking about? They wasn't aware of it. So they flew in to see what was going on. And when they got here, they realized this couple from out of state bought this property. They was under assumption that they bought this farm, or it was like 20 acres, and they was going to turn it into a farm. They done spent $50,000 deposit. They making monthly payments. They done paid all the excavators to clean up the property, do this, do that, done build a barn. They was doing all, look, dude, they was get, scoot, and boogie. Man that actually owned the property come in and says, what are you doing? It's like, we're doing this. You can't be doing this. I can do whatever I want. We bought this. We bought this. We paid $50,000 for this piece of property, and we are making payments. The guy looks at him and says, how did you buy something that they didn't own? Well, we own it. So long story to the end, these people came in, sold this property, put up an offshore account where they was making deposits in this account, and then they popped smoke. They went to another state. They just ride around doing it, just frauding people. They got 50 G's and they gone. This man and woman that bought this property, they tore up the property. They burnt the house. They cleaned it up. They did this, whatever. So now they're out of $50,000. All the money that they spend to clean up the property, all the money they done to do this, because they don't own it. They bought it under false pretense. Therefore, they're out of everything. Zero. Nuts and bolts, they're done. So the person that owns it, literally owns it, the deed, owns the deed of the property, says, you got to go. So they take the owner to court and suing him. The judge looked at him and said, so let me get this right. You're suing this man because he told you to get off his property. Yeah, we bought it. Yeah, but you bought it under false pretense. Well, it still don't matter, we bought it. You bought it under false pretense. You're out of it. Well, we need our money back and he should pay. Why should he pay? You didn't pay him, you paid this guy on this piece of paper. Find him and get your money. I'm sorry, you lost everything. So they done. So there's a lot of shady people involved. I don't know if that happened with your situation or your story or whatever, but it happens more than you think. So these people is out of over 100K, and they thought they was going to build their farm and all this other stuff, and now they're back to nothing. The man that actually owns the property is thankful that somebody come in and cleaned up his property. Now his property's clean. He didn't do nothing wrong. Fraud, man. Scammers. So back to the 67 Pontiac Tempest. One of the family members is going to be difficult. So you have to honor the will. If the will says X, Y, and Z is what happens, and the executor don't follow X, Y, and Z, then anybody that's in the will or anybody that wants to contest the will, that's why it goes to probate. It usually takes a year. In North Carolina, it takes a year and a day for anything to get settled. You have to put ads in the paper, you have to reach out to people, and you have to do it. It usually takes a year, right? Usually takes a year to do that. Well, so now the way that works is this person don't agree to this person don't agree to that. So now what you got to do in the Pontiac Tempest, you have to get it appraised. Once you get it appraised, it's warm in here. Once you get it appraised, let's say the car appraised for $30,000. So that is a part of the estate. So once that's a part of the estate, then that vehicle is sold. If there's anything owed on the estate, it gets paid, and anything left over, you get it. But then one person says, well, we sold the car for 30 grand, so I should get 15. But if you owe $100,000 on the estate, all the monies is put into the estate, all the bills are paid, and whatever's left is divvied up. So if there's $90,000 in debt, and you sell everything and you ain't got but $10,000, you split $10,000. You get 5 and you get 5 and y'all go on your merry way. But we just sold Daddy's car for 30. How do I get 5? That's not fair. So, anyways, I had like 57 people on here, and I guess they didn't want to know nothing about wheels. So let's get to what we got on here. Got the belt. So hit that share button, hit that thumbs up button. Everybody hit the screen. Give me the thumbs up button so it changes the algorithm, because it looks like to me we got talking about wheels and probate and stuff like that, and we lost a bunch of people. So let's see if we can get back to it. So this is part number 435K5 is the Duralast Poly VB Duralast Serpentine belt, right? This is for the 4.3 V6, all right? And then the other belt is 15405, which is a Duralast V belt. This right here is the other belt. So this belt is the power steering pump, water pump, and AC compressor. That's this belt. I got you, I'm back. The freezer is full. Man, Chevy, man, you've been gone for a day and a minute, brother. I hadn't seen you in a long time, big dog. This right here is the 6 rib. This runs the alternator. It goes on the crank, the water pump, and the alternator. All right, so yesterday, I went to the parts store around 8:45, right? And I asked for these 2 parts. They didn't have it. They said I got to order. So I called the other 5 part stores that's within 10 miles of each other. And every one of them says, we don't have it, big dog. We're out. Let me change stuff around. Said that we don't have it, right? 5 parts stores, none of them don't have no belt. So when I left AutoZone, I told them to go ahead and order it. Go ahead and get it. And I left and I called, regardless. Been keeping an eye. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. So I just went and got these 2 belts. Now, this belt right here, 435K5, was $39.13. This 15405 was $14.44. That's a walk-in price. So if you walk in, and I bought this belt at AutoZone, it was $39.13. If I walked in and bought this belt, it was $14.44. Now, if you have a commercial account, this belt is $16.99, and this belt right here is $7.97. Now, everybody under the blue sun does this. Everybody that's in business, Walmart, Kmart, everybody that's in business, this is the way it works. Everybody gets stuff at a discount price, and then you're supposed to mark it up to list price. You can't sell it over list price. You can sell a little bit under list price, maybe a few percent, like 5% or something. But the whole point of being a jobber is that's where you make your money, is on parts, right? People get mad at this all the daggone time. They say, well, that's not fair. You should do that. Well, let's see. You go get an LLC license. You pay the fees. You pay all the paperwork. You pay the state fees. You do this. You pay the business license. You pay every bit of that, and then come back and talk to me. Just like Walmart. When I went into Walmart and I got this Gatorade, and this Gatorade, let's say it was $2. Walmart didn't give $2 for this Gatorade. If you scan it with a tails on, it will tell you how much they give for it and how much percentage is marked up. It can be anywhere from 5% to 40%. That's how businesses stay in business. It's called markup. If everybody got everything it cost, you couldn't keep the daggone lights on. Bro is some Scottish American. What are you talking about, big dog? What's up, Ray? Hi, buddy, no deer. So, this belt right here was $16.99. This belt right here was $7.97. If you walked in to buy this belt, it was $39, let's say $40. This belt right here was $50. So you got 40 and 15. That is $55. All right? I'm saying you sound American, but you look Scottish. Wee little lad. I appreciate it. All right, so let's get to it. So, now, that's how it works. That's how the world goes round and around. Round and around and around and around. Hey, what is it? VIDAL? What do I think of Elon Musk? I like him. I like Elon. I like him. I like Elon. But you got to keep him at arm's length. Now, he is part autistic. He is super, super smart. I love watching him in his interviews. I really do. He is one heck of a businessman. He can make money like hand over fist. There's no, he's got more zeros behind his name than anybody in the world. That son of a gun is, so I like Elon, but we just got to be careful. I like him. But there's some people I like that people don't like, and there's people that like me, and there's people that don't like me. So, old man told me one time, if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong. But his father puts him in such a place, right? I don't know. What are you talking about? All right. So, let me show you what we're doing today. So we're gonna put these two belts on here. I had an auto shop, and that's how it goes. You have to make money to pay overhead and bills. You're not making a killing. That's exactly right. Because if you sold everything at cost and you're breaking even, you ain't making no money. I mean, you got to make money. And I've been told in the past, oh, you're price gouging, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, whatever. That's what you think. Do you complain to Walmart when you buy eggs and cheese and milk and bread and all this other stuff? I mean, that's what kills me. That's what really kills me. I mean, people can't be that. They just can't. I mean, do you honestly believe that you walked into Walmart and everything in there is the exact same price that Walmart bought it for? I mean, literally. I mean, literally. I mean, and when people say, well, yeah. And then I had one person tell me one time, they said, man, if a shop rate is $100 an hour, I think the tech should get 50. I think the tech should get half. So if a shop charges $100 an hour, you think that the tech in there should get 50? Oh yeah. I said, you must not be too smart. Why? Are you paying half the bills? Are you paying half the water bill, half the insurance, half the power bill, half the supplies, all the consumables? So if it's $100 an hour for labor, are you paying for half? So at the end of the month, if there's $10,000 in bills to keep the business running, are you paying that half? No, why should I? So you're supposed to make $50 an hour. The shop's supposed to make $50 an hour, and then out of that $50 an hour, the shop is supposed to pay for everything. Can't do that, big dog. Shop ain't gonna stay in business. So, but hey, buy it for less and sell it for more. You can't sell it more than retail. That's called price gouging, and you can't do that. There's rules against that. So if that belt lists for $39, this belt walk-in is $39.13. That's what they list it for. They sold it to me for $17. If I mark this up and I sold it for $39, let's say I give it a discount, $38. I'm still making a little bit of money. I had to go get the belt unless they brought it to me, but you still got to make some money on it, right? You still had to go, you still had to get it, you still got money, so you had to go get it. But if I sold this belt for $45, then I marked it up $6 more than retail. Now, there's some people that do that. I don't do that. So let's get to it. All right. So this belt and this belt are going to change. The only thing you're going to need is a 13 millimeter. You're going to need a 15 millimeter. And it's possibly we're going to have to use a 14. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Now, I do have air ratchets. I do have battery ratchets. I do have all that, but I'm going to do this way. Now, to take this belt off, you got to loosen the alternator. Once you loosen the alternator, you might have to loosen this bolt. You don't have to take it loose, just loosen it. Loosen this bolt, and this alternator is going to drop. You see this slot? So this is the tension, all right? All right, this is the tension, all right? So if I loosen this and I push it this way, it's going to put tension on the belt. If I loosen it and let it fall down, it's going to let the belt get loose, all right? Okay? Now, you can take a pair of scissors or a pair of snips and just cut that off because we're not going to use it. But you're still going to have to loosen this bolt, right? So if you put that on there like that right there, which way does it go? Chevy Man said, old school way. So which way does it go? Yeah, and Chevy Man, the reason why I'm doing it this way, most people don't have power tools, right? You can go to Harbor Freight, get these hand tools, and most time you can do this with hand tools, right? right? Most people don't have power tools or battery operated. So this is the bare bones, right? So the reason why this is metric and not standard is because it's 86. And most of everything on this thing is converted over to metric. Everything on that truck, since it's a 68, is standard. 9/16, half inch, 7/16, about take that whole truck apart. So I customized that on my dad's truck. So how sometimes they have nuts on the back of them, and you have to be able to do that. But this one, it does not. It has a nut insert that is actually made into the alternator, okay? So we need to take this off. So which way do we need to loosen this? There's a real easy way. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Or they never had to use old school way like we did when we started. I know that's right. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So right is clockwise, left is counterclockwise. So if we go this way, we're going to the right, that's righty-tighty. So if I push down, that is just going to tighten that. I want to push to the left, right? I want to push it this way. This is counterclockwise. Now, let's say that you don't have a lot of upper body strength, right? Let's say that you can't loosen this by yourself by pushing it down. You have some options, right? Okay, one, you can put pressure on this, right? And you can hit the end of this with a rubber mallet, right? And that will break it loose. I can hold it like this and hit it with a rubber mallet. You do not want to take a rubber mallet and just hit that, because if this wobbles, it's potentially that you're going to damage the head of that fastener or that bolt, right? Let me tell you the difference between a bolt and a nut, all right? That's a bolt. That's a nut. That's a bolt. That's a nut, right? That's the difference, right? So when somebody says tighten the bolt, that's what they're talking about most of the time. If they say tighten the nut, they're talking about the nut, all right? So that's that, all right? Now, this is a flat washer, okay? This is a flat washer. This is a lock washer, all right? This is a nylon lock nut. Can you see that? I don't know if it'll zoom in. You see that in there? It's been nylon impregnated, so therefore when the bolt goes through that, it actually heats that nylon up, and then it cools back down, and that is a lock nut. This is a regular nut. This is a flat washer. This is a lock washer, okay? This is also a lock washer, but it's a different type of lock washer, okay? So sometimes you need a washer here, and then you need a washer there, and then you need a lock nut, and then you need a nut. If you're using this type of nut, you need a lock washer, all right? If you're using this type of nut, right, there's all different sizes, look. They're all the same, right? They're all different sizes. If you're using this type of nut, you need a lock washer. If you're using this type of nylon lock nut, it's not required to use this lock. See how the lock washer is? It's required to use a flat washer, right? And there's washers come in different sizes, right? Different sizes. So this is the bolt, this is the nut, this is the washer, this is a lock washer, this is a flat washer, this is a nylon lock. Got that? All right, now let's get back to it. Okay, so, I was gonna say, if you hit on that, you can damage the head Now these numbers, they mean something about the bolt, right? That tells you different type, grade 5, grade 8, you know, stuff. I'm not going to get into that. But if you damage the head of this head of this bolt, it'll be hard to get it loose. So don't get daggone hammer happy, right? Now, here's another way you can do it. Watch this. Let's say you don't have a hammer, right? Let's just say you have 2 wrenches, right? All right, let me show you this little trick. So we're going down, right? So I need to push down, but I need to get more leverage, right? I need to get the leverage. Think of a seesaw, right? Think of a seesaw. The longer the board on the seesaw, the more lifting power you got. So if you'll take this wrench, right, and stick it in there like that right there, see that? And do that. Now she looks like that, right? Now look, now watch this. Now I don't have to put that much force on there. And why did I drop that? It's because I got one hand on the camera and one hand on the... We got one hand on the camera and one hand on the daggone wrench. That's why I dropped it. So next time I'll do it two-handed, right? So now, look. It's loose, right? Don't use that end, okay? Now that end, now look. Somebody been here before. Look at there. Somebody been there before and they hit the daggone wrench with a hammer and see it pulled off and it messed up the profile of the what? The bolt, right? Don't use this end, right? Because it's potentially that it will slip off. And that's they probably done that. Either way, right? So that's that. Now, that's pretty loose. Now, look at her. She fell down, boys and girls. She fell down. All right? So now, if you do this belt first, guess what? Let's say I take this belt off and I put a new belt on. Guess what? I can't get to that belt because that belt's behind that belt. So, now look. Some vehicles, this one don't have it. Some vehicles have a diagram. They're either on the cowl, they're either on the hood, or there's somewhere else that gives you the path of the belt, right? So we're going to take this belt off. It goes around the alternator, around the water pump. This is the water pump pulley, down to the crank. That's the crank, all right? So we're going to take this bad boy off. All you have to do is just loop it around like that. And now, look. That's one reason why she was squealing. She's bad. And I'm not talking about like Breaking Bad bad. She's bad. So I'm gonna show you. So, you see that? Now, so you see that? See that belt? That son of a gun's bad. Now, we'll show you the new belt. Look at the new belt. Nice. 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 All right, nice. So, we got that belt out of the way. Now, same thing with the AC. Now, we have to look on the back side. See the back side? Looks like someone cut it. No, it's just wore out. It's just wore out. All you see right there? You see right there? I know it's dark. That bracket there has got a nut insert, right? So I don't have to put nothing on the back side, right? Same concept on this one. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and see if we can do it a little different on this one. Let me see if I can find somewhere to put this thing. Yeah, I know one thing. It's warm in here. It's warm in here, boys and girls. Look, Sometimes people won't have the tendency to hit that with the palm of their hand. And let me tell you something. You can do that, but when you get older, your hand's gonna hurt. You're gonna regret you done that. Y'all hear that door over there? Bump, bump, bump. So put that on there like that. And I'm not using, now they make ratchet wrenches, or this right here, ratchets. Don't use those, they'll break. All right, now, I'm loosening the front of this alternator, this AC compressor, and it's not moving. I'm gonna show you why. All right, see, that's loose, right? So, see, that's loose, but she's not going nowhere, and this is the reason why. There's another one right there. Oh, there's another one right there on the back side. So, it's also slotted on the back, right there. See the slot? So I have to loosen that one up. The AC compressor has so much torque on it when the clutch, see? Look. See that clutch? I'm turning that clutch. The AC compressor is not locked up, but this is old refrigerant. This is R12 right there. See that R12? So I'd have to retrofit it anyway. So this compressor is no good, but because the lines is unhooked too. But that's how you tell your compressor's not locked up. All right, so now let's let me get to the back side of it. Well, I'm trying, boys and girls. Let me get to the back side of it and loosen that. Feels like a 13. Shouldn't be a 13, but it feels like it. So it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I'm backwards, so I need to pull up. I promise you. I need to push down. There ain't nobody been there before. You know what, boys and girls? There's another belt on here. Huh. I didn't even catch that. And I'm working on it. All right, look. This is the AC belt, all right? The AC belt runs around the power steering pump, around the crank, around the water pump, and back up. There's also another belt that's behind it, which is power steering pump belt. I want to see the belt when you get it off. Oh, I didn't got this one off. Right here. This is the other one. All right, let me get this. I don't have that belt, so I'll have to. I don't know why you're not green no more. I I don't know myself. I can't answer that question either. Oh, there's three. There's one on the front and two on the back. How we get that off? That was the alternator belt. We done that before you got here, Ray. Y'all hear that door? All right, I'm gonna show you what I found out. I could take this air conditioner all the way off and just leave it off, but I don't want to do that. I mean, because we're going to put a new air conditioner on this thing anyway. All right. So let me show you. Let me show you. I'm going to have to turn that dag on. All right, so look. We got this bolt on the front. You got this bolt on the back. And then you have this one right here. This is a nut, all right? You got a nut, you got this one right here. There's a nut right here, 14 millimeter. You have this bolt, see the slot? You have this bolt, see the slot? And also, see that hole right there? That is for the ratchet to go in that hole right there. And then put pressure on it, push it in, and voila. Let's look at this belt. She's bad too. All right. She's bad. So, all right. So the belt I do not have is that belt right there. I do not have that one. But I will get one and then I'll replace it. But this one don't look too bad. For some reason. I don't understand why this belt would have been replaced and these two wouldn't have been replaced. No, makes no sense to me. But like I said, I don't know. Don't know. So here is the new belt. Well, let me take this back. Hold on, let's check. Hold on, let's check. Look at there. See that? That is that inner belt. So we're gonna take that one off too. So this one is the inner. They just didn't give me this one. So we need this belt. We have this belt. So this is the inner belt. So that is the power and stern pump belt. So let me see. All right. So let me show you how to loosen the power steering pump. So that's even better. Because the AC, I mean, I don't need the AC one on to run the truck because that's what that is. So I need the AC belt, right? So I'll just take that belt with me tomorrow and get this one. All right, so the power steering pump, this is the power steering pump. The bolt for this one is right here. So to loosen this one, I need to push down, all right? So make sure it's good and seated. All right, let me put the camera up here. I need my other hand. That's that one. Oh, and then the other one's over there beside the water pump. So let me get, I'll show it to you. The other one was beside the water pump. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might not be able to get this one with a wrench. I might have to get a ratchet. I might have to get a ratchet on this one. I don't know yet, we're gonna see. Yep, I gotta get a ratchet. I don't have enough movement to get that one. I'll show you where it's at. So it is it's a 15 millimeter, and we'll need a small extension and a ratchet. I'm gonna show you where it's at. So to get to that one, I'm gonna use this deep socket. I'm gonna use this 3-inch extension and a ratchet. And I'm gonna go in between. No, I told you wrong. It's not a 50. I picked up the wrong one. I picked up a 16. I picked up a 16, knowing good and well it ain't a 16. See if this one fits. Nope. Hey, it's warm today. It got up like 40. It almost got up like 50 degrees. What in the Jimmy Crick corn? There we go. No, I was looking for a shallow one. It is a 14. I wanted a shallow one. That other 14 was a 12 point. Oh no, they're metric. This truck's metric, Jonathan. It's an 86. Everything's metric. Unfortunately, it's metric. She's a metric, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't like using 12 point. I just, you know, oh no, it's okay, man. Look, standard will work, you know, to cross it over, but I mean, you know, it will cross over. I mean, you know how that works, you know. But it's all metric. I mean, you can put a 9/16 for a 14. I mean, it'll work, but it's actually metric. I don't know, that power steering pump. I'm gonna show you. Y'all just hold on. I can't do it with two hands. I can't do it with one hand. Hold on. What y'all been working on today? Stopped making standard in 1980. Stopped making them standard in 84.
That might be true. I don't know what the cutoff date is. I don't know. I don't want to push too hard and knock my phone off. Let's take it off like a bicycle sprocket, like a bicycle chain. I'm gonna show y'all, just hold on, hold tight. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I know one thing, I'm gonna have to go turn that heat off over there. It got up like 50 degrees today, which was crazy because this morning it was cold. But I mean, I still got a damn fire going there, Anonymous. Anonymous, I was talking to you about a buddy today. Why won't that go down? Hey, Ray. So my buddy, he sells world champion Beagle. He sells world champion Beagles, right? You know, and we were talking today. You know what the hot color? I asked my wife the same thing. Dustin, what'd you ask your wife? I don't know, I just seen your comment, buddy. Hey, Ray, you know what the hot color is right now for Beagles? All right, so I'll take that back. This belt is bad. I'm gonna show you the other bolt. So this is how you, right there. So this belt here, that one's good. This one's no good. Yep, this is the new one. No, it ain't chocolate. I know how you can get chocolate though. My buddy knows all the DNA and what color to breed with what to get what color. That ain't the hot color for 2025, baby. Now I'm not talking about in hunting world. I'm talking about in the pet world. You know what the hot color is right now? You said, why won't that thing go down? I know you got a chocolate. I talked to my buddy about it. He said, I told him that you had a chocolate Beagle. I talked to him today. Cause we talk all the time. We talk about a little bit of everything, but we got talking about, you know, vehicles and cars and then he was talking to me about, you know, dogs, and he's like, man, he said, you know what the hot color is? Yep, lemon. I'm talking about in pet world, not in hunting world. You know, lemon. Lemon is the hot color. And you want me to tell you how hot lemon is? You want me to tell you how hot it is? Ask Jay how hot lemon is. Ask me. How much a puppy is from a reputable breeder. Not a puppy mill, a reputable breeder. $2,500 is cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap. How hot? $3,500 to $4,000, depending on the height, the color palette, and the breeder of a lemon lab or lemon beagle. So a while back, my buddy's pretty hot. He stays up on top of, you know, what's trending and colors and the exotic dog world and all that mess, right? So a few months back, he said, man, they projecting lemon is gonna be like stupid crazy, right? I'm gonna show y'all this when I get this here in a second. And All right, there we go. We got it on. And so, yes, sir. You know how I. Yes, sir. Now you know why I want to make. All right. So the other bolt that I needed to get to was right here. So I had to go through here to get this bolt to loosen up the power steering pump. And the other one is right here so the power steering pump could swing down so I could get the pulley on there. All right. So that's that one. I got to get something. Well, here's the thing. I'm sure you know, but my buddy at his kennel, he has it all on the wall, like baseball, football, basketball. He's got it all laid out. So he's got all of his female dogs, all of his male dogs. He's DNA'd all of his females. He's DNA'd all of his males. He's got all their traits. He's got all their gene traits. He's got their... You go in there and it looks like a mad scientist, right? Mad scientist, right? So he knows, for example, if he's got a Beagle, and let's say he goes down the traits and this one's got this, say it's got, not everything's perfect. So say it's got a bad trait, right? That's not very desirable or whatever. And then the male that he's going to breed it to has that same trait, he won't do the cross because it'll magnify that times 100. So he does a different cross. So he tries to breed out the bad, and he's been doing it for 30 years. He's got dogs everywhere, champion, blue, just you name it, world champion, grandmasters, whatever, he's got them, right? He's got them. So he even had a part when they done the Labradoodle. He knows the guy, and that's a whole nother story. But anyways, don't want to get off that. But anyway, so he knows what to cross to get the color every single time, right? Every single time, right? Every single time, in a perfect world. I mean, he's got silver labs, and if they got that silver gene is a mutation. And a lot of people think, well, if that one's got the mutation and that one don't, I'll get silver. No, you won't. You'll get chocolate, brown, and yellow, whatever. So he knows, right? So he got a rumor. Somebody told him that lemon Beagles was going to be hot in 2025. He said, the hunting world don't want a lemon Beagle. That's pets, right? So he started back in the spring and he looked for a male and a female. Top bloodline, blah, 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 all the whistles and bells and everything. He bought the male and he bought a female. He done a cross. He got puppies, right? And like I say, he's got a reputable business. He had the puppies. So he knows all that, right? So he knows somebody that has those lemons that done the cross. And he said, man, they sold every one of them. They sold every daggone one of them. He's probably on here watching, but he won't comment. They sold every one of them sun guns for like 25 to $3,000 a pop. Like 10 puppies at 10 grand. I mean, not 10 puppies for like $3,000. That's 30 bands. He's like, Jay, I'm gonna try to find ever lemon Beagle I can find, and I'm gonna try to get his. He does it right though. We were just talking. It was just crazy, but craziness. He said colors is selling more than in the hunting world. So he's seen where his business has shifted, where he has more pet owners buying dogs versus hunting dogs. Now he's got the best hunting beagles in the country, right? But the colors, people are calling him and say, hey, look, and he goes, well, this is a hunting dog, blah, blah, blah. They've been bred, they got top genes, this, whatever. We love that color. We want that. We want to get on the list. And yeah, 30 bands, Jonathan, 30 bands. Look, pay me now.
What's up, JG? I'm talking like just craziness. He's like, man, I literally got off the phone with him like at 5 o'clock today. He's like, man, I'm trying to find me some lemon labs and you know, 16-inch dogs, frames, whatever. And he said, I mean, it's crazy. He said, if I can get a couple litters on the ground, you know, before summer, and because he's got waiting lists anyway, and put it out there. He said people's been blowing his phone up asking for blue beagles. They're like blue purple, because he has one that's so dark it looks purple. The what's supposed to be black, it's actually so deep it looks purple. They call it blue. He's got people calling about those. He's like, dude, it's crazy. Crazy. All right, so let me get back to this. So this bolt right here is the back tensioner. The front bolt over there is for that. All right. So I have to put tension on this. And to put tension on this, I'm going to have to put something here to put some pressure on it to push it back, and then tighten one of those up. And then I'll put the rib belt on, and then when I get off here, I'll call the parts store and see if they have this belt. If not, I'll just wait so I can take it up there to measure it. So y'all hang tight, and then we'll show you something else. Man, I wonder if I get a discount. No discounts, man. He's like me, man. No discounts. He says price is the price. Don't give any discounts. Price is the price. And by doing that, you keep it, you keep it the way it is. He gets, for his regular beagles, he gets $1,500 to $1,800 for his regular beagles. Is what he gets for his regular ones. I'm trying to find out where the best place is I can grab this without making a teetotal mess. Yeah, he gets like $1,500 to $1,800 for a regular beagle, and he has a waiting list right now until Christmas. I told you, man, he's got he's got a dog that was like a world grand champion. Now I hope I don't tell this wrong, but I've heard him. He's got a dog that was the grand world champion, blah, 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 whatever. And that dog has been dead for like 10 years. And when he was getting up in some age, he took him to, that dog actually put him on the map. That dog did, that one and another one. And everybody wanted a piece of that dog. So he done very, very precise crossing when he done that. I'm not gonna say the dog's name because you can Google it and find it, so I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to tell something wrong. But I do know this, when he retired that dog from hunting, so he don't run his dogs to death. Once they get to a certain age, he retires them and then he keeps them, right? So when he got that close, he took that dog to this place and they milked that dog every month. They milked that dog every month and stored his sperm in cryogen. And this place stores like $25, $30 million horses, bulls, you name it, right? And he done that. And they're good for X amount of long, how much time, whatever, and he pays a fee on it and all that good stuff, right? And he's crossed that. He'll look out there in the beagle world and he'll find a female that's just top notch, right? And he'll do the research, and once he gets all the research on that dog, he will reach out to that owner and he'll say, I'd like to do a cross. And I like to cross that dog with this dog. And they'll say, man, that dog's been dead 15 years. And he's like, well, he might be dead, but I have his sperm in cryogen.
you send me your dog. And they'll do the paperwork. They'll send the dog. They'll have the dog artificially inseminated, which is a 100% guarantee. And I want to say those pups off of that dog is like $5 grand. I've heard that number, so I might be wrong, but it is, and I mean, there's people from here to daggone across the pond standing in line to get across off of that dog. You know what I mean? So, just crazy bananas. Crazy bananas. All right, so let's put this other belt on. I got that belt on there. I got it semi. We putting belts on this this 86 Silverado pickup truck with this 4.3. I'm gonna show you. I can't do it and show you at the same time because it don't work like that. But I am gonna put this belt on. And plus, I'm not gonna have to get off here much longer because my phone just, I'm down to 15% on my phone. Now I'm gonna tighten this and then I'm gonna show you how to tighten it. Like I said, I'm gonna tighten it, then I'm gonna show you how to tighten it. Thanks for telling me. Telling you what? What'd I tell you, Ray? Oh, yeah. Daggone it, Jay. Did I drop something? Yeah, I put it over there. Told you what. Thanks for telling you what. What did I tell you, Ray? Again, I'm using hand tools. I'm not using power tools. I'm using a ratchet, 14 millimeter, 15 millimeter, and I think a 13. I think that's what that one was. I want to at least get this one tight and that one tight, and then we can start it to see if the squealing went away. I don't know what the torque is. I just tighten it by hand until it stops moving. You know one thing, it's hot in here. All right, let me show you. All right, here we go. So I had to tighten this bolt back up in the reverse order like we did before, and I had to put pressure on it, so I just took this bullpen and put right there. You can use a crowbar, flat stock, whatever, and I just put pressure on it. But if you can see right there, see that indentation right there? That's where it was at originally. That's how much that belt was stretched. Now, that might be, I don't know, it might be too tight. I don't know, we'll see. Now, the belt that I did not put on is the AC belt because they did not give it to me. So, I'll get that belt and then we'll go from there. I have to tighten up the power steering pump belt before we crank it because I don't want to sling it and tear it up. So, that's where I'm at on that. So, I'm gonna set that right there. And I'm going to figure out how to put some pressure on this bad boy so I can tighten it up. I need a crowbar, but I don't have one. I do, it's down at the woodshed. I don't feel like going to go getting it. Let me see. I got an idea. Hold on. I got an idea. Yeah, throw that on the floor. That's one idea. Hey Ray, did you see where that wrench went? There we go. There we go. We got this 7/16 or the 7/8 wrench. I hate a lazy ratchet, man. Still ain't tight enough. There we go. If it was in a perfect world, everything would be easy, wouldn't it? You know, the other day I told y'all that TikTok ain't going nowhere. So it ain't going nowhere. So the Biden administration said that they wasn't going to do anything one way or the other. They was going to let the next administration do something. So the Supreme Court said, you know, we're going to ban it. So Trump said that he respects what the Supreme Court says, but since it's coming at a time where administration is changing, you normally don't do big drastic moves from when, you know, power changes from one party to the next, you know. You normally don't do nothing, right? You don't act in haste, right? So he said that they were going to give it a 90-day window, right? They're going to give it a 90-day extension, or ask for a 90-day extension, and that will give it time to figure out where, you know, it's all in the United States anyway. All the servers are, the parent company, everything's in the United States. But they said that you have to sell the Chinese part, you know, to an American company or something. They have to relinquish their whatever, right? So in 90 days, they'll figure out what they're gonna do, right? So what will happen is, after tomorrow, you won't be able to download the TikTok app, right? And then if you have the TikTok app, that's fine. Let's say in 90 days they do go with the ban. You'll still have TikTok, but you won't get updates, and eventually it will just crash and you won't be able to use it no more. So It's a multi-billion-dollar company. The money that it revenues, so it's not going nowhere. That's just where it's at. So, I figure in the last hour, the 11th hour, like I said the other day, somebody will come in and they'll save it, and it'll be fine, and then it'll be regulated to death. That's why everybody likes TikTok, because you can find anything out on TikTok. It ain't censored. So that's the whole reason why it does so good. And whoever wrote the algorithm for TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, they want that running software because they can't compete with it. I mean, at the end of the day, it just boils down to money. Just boils down to money. That's all it is. Money, 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 money. All right, so that right there, I can live with that. I can live with that. Let's get these nuts and bolts off top. So let's walk around the truck and talk about it for just a few minutes, and then we'll go from there. So what's holding it up on the front is the exhaust. I did it in a video. The exhaust is holding it up in the front. I'll show you. I'll show you right here. See, the exhaust is holding. I got to hook the shocks up on the front. See, the exhaust, it's actually setting on the exhaust. So if I was to cut the exhaust loose, the front will come on down. Now, yesterday I said there was something holding the back up, and it is. And it took me a minute to figure out what it is. Now listen. Hear that squeakiness of a tire? It's actually right there. See that right there? That part of the inner fender or bedside, I didn't, right there. See that? I didn't trim that on this side. I trimmed the other one on that side. I just didn't trim that. So that's what's holding it up. So what I'll do is I'll pick the truck back up. I'll unhook the shocks. I'll let the rear end drop down. I'll take my metal tool and I'll trim that out so it will clear that. I'll double check this side over here on this side. I will make sure on this one that it's cleared on that one, and we'll be good to go. Here's the sheet metal. I told you I already had it cut. But once all that's done, and I cut the hole for the gas gauge, or I cut the hole for the filler neck, and I get the new, I've ordered a new 90 ohm replacement fuel sender for the gas gauge. That one is a that one is a 222 ohm or some crap, whatever. GM is 0 to 90. So I didn't know that when I ordered the tank. So I've ordered replacements, like $9 on Amazon. So it should be here. I actually put the old seat back in it, just because I'm done. I just put the old seat back in it and we're good to go. I need to put this in. I've had this for a day and a minute. This right here is the cruise control and all that good stuff. And what has happened, of course, is broke, but then that's the wire for the cruise control. It's broke, so I have to take all that out from the column, so I got to do that. So make sure ain't nothing in the way. Make sure everything's good. Ain't nothing in the way. Everything's clear. All right, now it is loud because it's just straight exhaust. There is no mufflers or no nothing on it. So let's see. That belt looks like it needs to be tightened just a little bit. See how it's... I mean, when this thing run with exhaust on it, you couldn't even hear it run. I mean, it sounded like a sewing machine. I mean, it's just running. But that belt, that alternator belt needs to be tightened up. You can see it's a little too loose. So I'm gonna put a little bit more pressure on it to get it back where it was at. Other than that, it's running like that because it don't have no O2 sensor. It don't have an O2 sensor in it, so it can't read. So the TBI is running a little rich. Now, if I got on the road and cleared it out, it would clear up. But when I do the new exhaust, I will put. It just has one O2 sensor, post stream. I'll put that on there. I'll put a universal catalytic converter on it, and I'll run it on out. I did find on Amazon that there is a 2-inch complete exhaust kit for this thing, OEM replacement, the whole exhaust kit for $79 for 2-inch mild steel for $79. 2 downpipes, a cross pipe, 2 straight sections, a muffler, the piece that goes over the rear end, the whole kit. It's like, I think it's like a 13-piece kit for like $79. So I'll show you right here, this belt. I'm gonna put a little bit more tension on that, and I also gonna pick up a little bit of belt dressing and go from there. But I mean, and I need to put the overflow back on because when I revved it up, the water come out. But I need to get some valve cover gaskets, wash this thing really, really good. Man, it'd have been great if I got this thing out today because it was nice. I could have pressure washed it. But like I say, once I get everything where it's at, I'm gonna pull it outside. I'm gonna clean the fire out of it, pressure wash it, and then I'm gonna try that wool wax. I'm gonna wool wax the whole truck underneath. It's solid. I mean, the floor pans are solid. Hello from Saudi Arabia, Holland. Good morning. It's actually 7:30 at night here. Thanks for coming to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. It don't cost a dime. It's free, and it helps old J-Dog out. So this is what we did, a little recap. We talked about a wheel and all that stuff. Talked about the 67 Pontiac Tempest in the beginning. Got off topic a little bit. Lost some people watching, but that's just the way it works. Here's the belt. See how bad it is? It's just wore out. So this belt right here was part number 43.5 kilo 5. I got that belt. And then the other belt was 15.405, which is the power steering pump belt. The other belt that I need is the AC belt. They did not get that one. I didn't look. I should have looked for a look, so that was on me. So I'll take this to the parts store tomorrow, and I'll get this belt and some belt dressing. And I'm not gonna replace the valve cover gaskets right now, right yet, because I got some other stuff I need to do. And once I do that, I gotta remove the air conditioner, and I'm not gonna do that. But I do know that to the end of the month, Harbor Freight has a club member thing on that barrel sander. And I think it's normally like $119. And if you're a club member, I might have to go back and look at my coupons. I think that thing is like $69. So I told my son, I said, you need to buy that. You need to get up on it. And then I can take it and start stripping. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna take the truck apart right yet, but I'm gonna strip each panel to bare metal and then epoxy and then do each panel all the way around. I'm hoping once I get the airlines made or go to Viking Hose and get the airlines, the final airlines made for the airbags, talk to AVS about the digital controller, see what they're gonna do. They're gonna replace it. I really like to get this thing to the audio shop because I would really, 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 really like to have this thing at least in primer, and the audio done
and take it to the Peach Festival in July, the third weekend of July. That is going to be the goal, but we got to see how life treats us and goes from there. But I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you go and look at the community post and look at that 67 Pontiac Le Mans Tempest Custom, or it's actually a Le Mans. No, it's actually a Tempest Custom. Check that car out. If you've not subscribed, I greatly appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. And also, I was asked the other day, somebody says, "Hey Jay, I want to send you something." And I said, "You want to send me something?" And I got kind of mixed feelings on that, you know, but I talked to another YouTuber and they said, "Man, if somebody wants to send you something, let them send you something." So I'll tell you what the address is, hold tight. Address is 405 North Main Street, Candor, Candor, North Carolina, zip code 27229. You don't have to. If you want to send me some stickers, but somebody was asking me the other day, "Hey man, I want to send you something." And they sent me an email and said, "Hey man, I want to send you something. Where do I send it?" And I was like, "Man, you don't have to do that. If you're a subscriber, that's great. That's all I ask for. I greatly appreciate it. But if you're very adamant about it, it's 405 North Main Street, Candor, Candor, North Carolina, zip code 27229. I guess if you want to send me some fan mail, send it there. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go wash my hands and I'm going to go eat some lasagna. It's actually leftover. I'm going to go eat some leftover lasagna and eat me some smoked mackerel. And I appreciate you. If I get something worthwhile, I'll go live tomorrow. I'm trying to stay consistent. And I'd love to hit 3,000 subscribers by February. I know that's 800 to get there. But if we all work together and share, hit the button, hit the thumbs up button, and hit that subscribe button, that changes me and puts me in a different algorithm. And there's no reason why we can't hit 800 more subscribers before February 1st. And I greatly appreciate it. Remember what I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first at loose end drag. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.